Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back, or welcome to Bang's Audio Reviews. Today we are going to do my top 10 sets of 2024. Couple of caveats here. One, had to be released in 2024, no exceptions. Number two, these sets are all from $120 and up. I think we max out at like $350, I think, for the Fan 3. I think that's like the top end. So if you're expecting Summit 5 stuff or Kilobucks sets or whatever, not going to happen on this video or on my channel for that matter at this point, which is okay, because I think most of us live more in the sub 300, sub 200, sub 100, and that sub 100 or sub 120 list will be coming up for y'all on Monday or Tuesday, depending on when I get the CKLVX D62 review finished. Anyway, enough of the intro, enough delaying. Here we go with my top 10 of 2024. We'll start with honorable mention. Things that did not make the list, but possibly could have. The Juzear 6-1T Butterfly. That set was very impressive. It was really good. I just, unfortunately, couldn't keep it in my ears long enough to really get to know it if I had been able to. And the reason for that is pressure buildup, which is something I'm sensitive to. I don't think I'm like super sensitive to it, but I'm sensitive enough where the 6-1T Butterfly was unfortunately a no-go for me. But that might not be the case for you. So if you have the set, you enjoy the set, or if you know that pressure doesn't bother you, the 6-1T I think was a high-performing set. I'll just put it that way. I wish I could tell you more, but like I said, didn't really have them in long enough to get a good assessment. But I felt like they were good enough to make honorable mention. Second honorable mention goes to the TRN Azure Dragon. Now, some of you out there are going to be like, TRN? Yeah, right. Well, okay, listen. Hits and misses, I had the TRN Conch on my value list last year, or I think it was like the sub 30 list or whatever I did, because of its accessories. It had good sonics, not like really impressive, but very good. And it came with that, I think it's the red chain cable from TRN, which is modular and tips and tuning nozzles and all this stuff, so I just felt like it was an exceptional value and it sounded good. After that, I tried the ST5. That was tried the Medusa. That was an I think I had the VX Pro, the original, which I liked okay, but it's really like BA in the treble, like really hissy. So that was, not a great one either. But the Azure Dragon, which came sort of half courtesy, let's say 50% courtesy of Harrison and Science, really impressed me. And in that field of planar magnetic headphones or earphones, headphones too, I guess, in that big field of planar magnetics, I felt the Azure Dragon was actually closer to the top of what I tried last year, or even previously. Was it as good as the SO8? That's debatable. Definitely did not keep up with the S12 2024. But I felt like, because TRN, I don't think they have a really like a rep for producing this like $200 level set. I would not be disappointed if I bought the Azure Dragon for $210. I just wouldn't. I think it's an excellent sort of a crossover between old school and new school tuning wise. The treble reminds you that it is a planar, but it's not over the top, and it has enough bass and enough warmth that it's an enjoyable set. If it's not the most technical or the most pristine or whatever you want to say, yeah, okay, I get that. And a little bit pricey, perhaps. Those reasons, not on the top 10, but still a solid set from TRN. Impressive. Well done, guys. Number three, these aren't really in any order. This is just what I thought of them. The Dunu X Gizaudio DaVinci. When I reviewed this set, I had COVID, so I may have missed the trebles up in the treble that I think a lot of people have sort of pointed out that it was a little bit too harsh, not refined enough, not detailed enough for the $300 price point. So apologies if you see that review and you're like, wow, he loved that set. Well, like I said, with COVID, very well could have missed the treble issues. So based on my experience, it might have made the top 10. If I had it here again to listen to, it could have, or it could have dropped further. I don't know, because I don't have it. It was on tour in the North American area, and it spent a couple of weeks here and moved on. So yeah, without a really firm grasp of the DaVinci, I couldn't put it in the top 10. So for that reason, but still, I think it's a good set. Perhaps a bit overpriced, considering the treble quality seems to be at issue with it. I didn't want you guys to wonder where the hell the RDT10 Pro was on the top 10 list. And the reason it's not there is the only reason it's not there is because I stuck to $120 and up. Really, it's more like $150, but you'll see why I put it to $120. I feel like it's a good breaking point, $120 and up, $120 and down. If I were to have the T10 Pro on this list, it would probably land somewhere between 4 to 7. But I didn't, and so I'm not. It will have its own place at the very tippy top of the top 10 values of 2024. Like I said, sort of teased that a little bit. Yeah. So you'll see it. Don't worry. She's not lost. Oh. Sorry. Ad number 10, the Canary Celeste Relentless. I love this set. Definitely a bass lover's set for sure. I think that it performs fairly well in a fairly well balanced fashion considering how much bass there is. You can attribute that to the fact that it's working off of 6 BAs, right? So they have a lot of coverage from the mids to the highs. From an enjoyment standpoint, excellent. Like good enough to make the top 10. From a technical standpoint, lots of sets ahead of it. So that's why it's in at number 10. Definitely gets a highly recommended. I'll link the review to in the description of all these sets because they've all been reviewed except one. Number 9, Binary Acoustics Dyna Quattro. This could very easily have gone higher, but I felt like I'm going to correct something. It's not a dark set. It graphs like it could be, and it sort of, I experienced that a little bit, but there's a lot of buts here. What was surrounding it when I reviewed it, like the Fan 3 and Estrella, just that have more treble energy, just kind of pushed it down a little bit. This could very easily be, I could see it being in another person's top 5. But for me, because there was a little lack of treble energy and sparkle, and I don't really care about the air so much, but the sparkle, cascadey kind of stuff going on, that's what I like, just was a little bit lacking in the Dyna Quattro. But still, number 9 out of the entire year, it's not bad. So another score for Binary. They're doing some good stuff. At number 8, the SimGot Super Mix 4. This thing, I tell you, is smooth as can be. It's kind of a Harman tune, but that's okay. It's not boring. That's the big thing. Like, I went back and forth and back and forth and back and forth, and I was like, should it be higher? Should it be lower? Should it be on there at all? What it comes down to, how smooth it is, how good the sound quality is. And yeah, maybe it's not going to blow you out of the water with energy or bass or anything in particular, but the whole package, the whole tuning of it is just so balanced and so nice that I had to put it in there. And it's the least expensive set in the top 10. $150 RRP, $120 on sale. You can find it for $120 just about any day of the week at this point. So SimGot gets number 8 with the Super Mix 4. Number 7, there's a bright one, the Tantjim Origin. Now, back when I did the single DDs over the summer, the late spring, early summer, I actually ranked the Hakujai Anunnaki higher than this. That was probably a little bit of price bias going on. I do think that they're very close sets, but in retrospect, the Tangent Origin really does kind of outperform it in a technical sense. The Anunnaki will probably make an appearance on my all-time list coming up later in the month. Um, but for this one, and because the Anunnaki was released in 2023, the Origin was released this year, it was a pretty easy decision to put that in at number 7. I think it's my top single DD set. It is, as far as I know. We'll see. At number 6, Meyer Audio SL41 Mark II. The Slevo returns. So the Mark II wasn't really much of any sort of a retune. They were working on the connection point issues, where I think they went from a 2-pin to a recessed 2-pin. Apparently that didn't solve every problem. People still had some issues with it. My set has been perfect, and I would say if you took the SimGot Supermix 4 and gave it some, I don't know, I don't want to say like a horrible illegal drug, but if you gave it like a pep, like a little pop, that's what you'd get. You'd get the Slevo. The Slevo is, again, it's a little harmon tuned, but it's just got the excitement to it. It's got a little bit more je ne sais quoi. It has a little bit more zhuzh than the Supermix 4. Therefore, it ends up at number 6. But a similar tuning, technically speaking, pretty close as far as performance goes. I give the slight edge to the SL41 Mark II. And that's number 6. Going into number 5. Number 5, had it not been for the Final Type E ear tips, the Cadenza 4 might have been a little bit further down the list. But, as we all know, the right ear tip, the right seal, the right fit, all of that good stuff can make a big difference. And it made a huge one on the Cadenza 4. It turned a very good set into a dynamite set. So if we're in the top 5 now, that means, we're looking at the cream of the crop of everything that I've tried this year. Let me also say this is everything that I've tried. Okay, a lot of other people have tried a lot of other things besides me, so I can only judge what I've actually had in my ears, and that's the only way I'll do it. So anyway, the Cadenza 4 ended up being enough of a performer to make it into the top 5, as I alluded to during the review. Just a very dynamic, energetic, still balanced, that has that cascading treble. Really, like, the final E tips really sort of took that swishiness away, which was huge for me, and gave a little tiny bump to the bass too, which didn't hurt. I just feel like it's such a great all-around set, and I know it's like the price is all over the place on it. It's $250 RRP. Amazon's got a $50 coupon, so that makes it $200. It was on sale, I think, during 11/11 on Amazon for some reason. I got it for $150. Listen, it's an absolute out of this world banger for $150, even for $200. $250, you're swimming in some deeper waters there, but I still think it holds its own, and that's why it is number 5. So number 4, Zgat XJ's Audio Estrella. Here we go. Excitement. This is just a straight up very exciting set. It's a little less harmon tuned. It's got a little bit bigger bump to the mid bass. The treble is just, to me, I love how the treble is presented. Like, if I had a target curve, that would probably kind of mirror it. It just has that very slight trail off, so it doesn't get too intense or too fatiguing. But a nice amount of soundstage, just a really engaging listen. The Estrella is just one of those things where you put it in your ears and it's almost immediate. You're like, wow, this is good, and then you listen to it more and you're like, wow, this is good. I guess some other reviewers didn't like it as much. I don't care. That's fine. That's their opinion. That's how they heard it. I heard it as number 4. So, number 3. Well, it had a shot. It had a shot at the top spot. The Let's Shure S12 2024. Top-rated planar on the list, of course. What can I say about this set? What does it There's nothing it can't do. There's absolutely nothing that this set cannot do. It's it's an all-arounder. It's like definitely a newer style tuning where they took the S12/S12 Pro and kind of just somehow like tamed the treble, but didn't lose any detail or stage in doing so. I don't know how they did that. Geniuses, geniuses. This was a no doubter from the moment I put it in my ears. I was like, this is going to be a good set. And a couple days later, by the time I was ready to do the review, I was ready to name it IEM of the year. And it still holds that much appreciation from me. It's just that I found a couple that were better, just by a little bit, maybe more than a little bit. But let's say this: the S12 2024 could very well have been the set of the year had I not gotten to listen to the top two sets before the end of the year. All right, so on to the top two. Wait, oh, there's no number two. Crap. What? That's why. Okay, guys, top of the heap, right here in front of you. CK-LVX D62, which dropped on my doorstep yesterday. How the heck did that happen? And the Pennon Fan 3. I couldn't pick between these two. They do things differently than one another, but they are virtually the same insofar as just an insane level of sound quality. I mean, just an insane level. You're not going to find sets that sound this good for like less than maybe $600, $700, $800. They just nailed it, both of them. So the Fan 3, definitely, like I in the community, I posted, I was like, if there's one word for the Fan 3, it's going to be imaging. If there's one word for the D62, it is clarity. Between these two, I just have not heard better sets. There's only one other set that I would put in the same category with these, and it was released in like late 2022, I think. Anyway, yeah, the Canara Hodor, which is now on vacation, but we'll be back in a couple of weeks. That's the only other set that, like, just really sat me down hard. Like, sit up and take notes. Sit down and then sit up and take notice. The original RDT10 did that, but that was price bias, right? I was like not expecting that to be that good for that price. And in turn, the T10 Pro, I was like, damn, that's really good too. But again, a little bit of price bias there. If it's under $100 and it makes you sit down and stop what you're doing, that's pretty impressive. These guys, easily the best two sets of 2024 for me. Easily. And I can't pick between the two of them because the D62's got the bass and it's got treble clarity and huge stage, and the Pennon has got the technical chops of a kilobuck set and has that laser precise imaging. I would own both. Oh my gosh, I do own both. Yeah, these were walkaway sets. I could walk away with both. Don't ask me to pick between the two, but I could walk away with both and be just fine from here on out. That's not happening, as y'all know, but if I had to, these would be them. And I'd have to make room for the Hodor too. Just gotta. Anyway, so yeah, big props to Meyer Audio for what they've done in turning the IEM world on its head with their releases. I mean, just gorgeous construction. Oh yeah, and TD, buddy, Waver, dude, these are probably going to be too big for your ears. I hate to break that to you, but I just I took them out and put them against a couple other shells, and I don't know. Yeah, it's not like the Fan 3 is small, but yeah, the D62 is thick. Like it's got a thick, deep shell because 2 DDs and 6 BAs, you got to have room for all that stuff in there. Yeah, and the Fan 3, a little smaller. The BCD, on off is a nice feature on it. It's on permanently for me. I won't listen to them without it unless it's by accident. I don't know what to say. The Fan 3 took me completely by surprise, and even though I was expecting the D62 to be good, because I've liked every set that I've had from Meyer so far, I did not expect it to upend the entire freaking top 10 for 2024, and it did. So there you go. There's your top 2 sets. Tied at 1. I will not choose. You can't make me. But I will say that if you want more bass, there's that one. And if you like a little less bass, little mid-bass focus versus sub and mid-bass focus, yeah, a little mid-bass focus on the Pennon, a little more sub-bass and thicker on the D62. You're gonna win either way. There's like there are no doubters either way. So there's your top 10. Round 1. Round 2 will be the top 10 values featuring the RDT10 and the SimGot EW300 coming up on Monday or Tuesday. And the next review, full review, will be of the Meyer Audio CK-LVX D62. Holy shit, what a banger this turned out to be. I can't even. So if I'd given it a couple more days, this might have ended up just being a clear number 1. But deference to Pennon for making a great set in 2024 with the Fan 3. All right, top 10 list 1 done. Hope you all are going to have a great weekend. Happy holidays to you, no matter what holidays you celebrate. All are welcome. You know how I am. All right, be careful, be safe, be nice. Love y'all. Nothing but peace to you. We'll see you on Monday.